Just a motion to receive and file the annual report on the Senior Alliance.
And somebody will be here tomorrow for a presentation for that.
Yeah. Okay, number
Is that
7.
Angie Whitney?
It's another lady coming, a different lady.
Oh, okay.
Is a motion to approve the Phase 1 rehabilitation of the Senior Atrium at the Senior Center for the amount of $118,800. I think we also have some strong opinions on this.
I'm sorry?
I think we all have some strong opinions on this.
I'm sorry, I was writing something. What number?
Okay,
We're on the Senior Atrium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go through the overview, or?
Ray Parker from Hennessy Engineers is here to kind of give you an overview of what we're going to do with the Senior Center Atrium. Answer any questions.
Before we get started, we had talked about this before and about not even having this anymore. I mean, can this money be used for something better?
Like the
Within
kitchen?
the senior center? As far as, there's a lot of issues with that building other than this atrium.
Which Ray can address, and
I didn't push hard enough.
we,
Oh, twice?
we've been working on this atrium. Right now it's not even in use. We're adding an rear entry door, reconfiguring it by using federal grant funds. If you were to demo it and get rid of it, we would have to use fund balance, which wouldn't be eligible to be demoed with federal grant money because it doesn't meet the blight requirements.
Here's, if I could, Madam Chair, here's kind of the dilemma we're in. We can't leave it as is because it's leaking and it's not usable. We could demo it, but you would have to use general fund dollars. It wouldn't qualify under community development block grant. Or we could go through a renovation, which is what Ray's gonna walk us through in a minute, and use block grant funding to do so. So that's kind of the pickle we're in.
What is the cost of demo?
Ray, do you have an idea?
20 to 30,000.
And can this, like I said, would it be eligible to take care of the rest of the building other than putting another atrium up?
No, not just blindly. You can't use it just at the senior center. It would have to be a qualified expense.
It's got to be, typically it's a removal of an architectural barrier or something for the seniors that would be a direct benefit, and there's different criteria we would have to look at.
Well, my problem with this is it's never been used regularly anyways. Not a lot of people use it. We have garbage disposals that don't work, drains that back up, a curtain that constantly gets stuck. There's so many other issues there. You know, I understand it's federal dollars, but it don't make sense for something that's not good.
We could look at eligible activities over there with future grant funds moving forward, but some of these things you're talking about aren't eligible. Drains, we couldn't use CDBG funds for drains.
What about anything to do with the kitchen? Like any updates there on that?
Those are considered pretty much cosmetic. It would have to be, typically they look at ADA restrictions. So anything that would be to eliminate an architectural barrier, stopping someone from it. Typically they look at uses that are already in there. If your bathroom needs to be renovated to make it ADA accessible, that would be an eligible expense. But kitchens, they don't primarily look at.
Well, what about renovating the banquet hall? That is so shabby looking now.
I don't think that
That-
would be an eligible
that would be
expense.
cosmetic.
Yeah, it's cosmetic.
Don't we have an ADA entrance in the front of the building?
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, the building as is currently only has one way in and one way out, which would be addressed as part of the renovation. There would be a separate vestibule added with an access door, because there's a bit of a fire hazard right now, because once you're in there, you're trapped. There's only one way out.
So that's on the right of the atrium then?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically the existing atrium, the only way in is this door currently here. We were looking to propose an actual vestibule that would be allow entrance from this side as well as an exit door. So you would have a new door here and a new door here for easy access. So you would have two primary entranceways into this facility versus now coming through where the ping pong tables are now. So you would have this way to come in or up the other vestibule, which is off the main multi-purpose room. And then the basic premise was to replace all the broken glass and then the room gets so hot because of the solar heating that it's getting from the glass roof, plus they're broken panels now. So we proposed putting in a translucent panel, which is like a milky white. It would allow light to come through, but it wouldn't have the solar heating that you get in the room, which is why it's so unbearable in the summertime and everything else. So that would clean it up, and then again, we would be adding a new door to the outside and just creating a vestibule to match the exterior of the rest of the building.
So this is taking the footprint of the original, of the atrium that's there now, and just repairing it.
Repairing it, replacing all the glass. The steel framework is actually tilted out of center, so it would need to be straightened, brought back up. The new roof panels would be placed on top, ceiling fan in it, and leaving the foundation of the structure that's there, and then adding this foundation for
So
the vestibule.
is it the tilting that is addressing the leaking then, that's gonna house the leaking itself,
Well,
or is it just the frame?
It's the panes themselves that are broken, plus the frame tilting is actually separated from the building, allowing water to flow in there.
Is there gonna be any kind of exhaust fan, because even with a translucent panel, you still gonna get heat transfer from the sun?
Well,
And
we-
you put any kind of exhaust?
What we planned on is they have awning windows across the bottom now, is putting awning windows across the top, so they can be open to both allow it in and go back out at the top. But not a motorized fan now.
Where are they gonna use this room for?
Madam Chair, Jeff, what is typical use of this?
Well, right now they use it for reading, storage, and they can't even use it as a, to plant flowers or, you know, any kind of, because it's in poor shape, but I'm sure that if they would also start growing plants out there again and use the horticulture end of the building, of the site as well, so.
Was that the initial intent of that area?
At the time it was.
At one time it was?
Where would the storage go then?
Well, I think it's become just a catch-all. I don't think it's an actual storage. I think people have brought stuff from
File
home.
cabinets.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of everything that's in there
It's
right
not
now.
like glass.
Well, they started taking it out as it started getting wet.
Okay.
So where is this money coming from?
Community development block grant.
I mean, where is CDG getting it
From HUD.
from? From HUD.
This was in our action plan that you approved last year.
Now, how does this impact any of the other CDBG programs that, or does it, that we have going? How does this impact any of the other CDBG programs, like the ones for the homeowners assistance for,
Oh, it doesn't. This is budgeted separately, separate line item budget that we approved
or
in
the
action.
$5,000 that we give to each?
That's out of the home grant. Yep.
Okay, so that doesn't affect any of those?
No, it does not affect any of that.
Madam Chair, we looked at a lot of options, but to fund it through the federal grant program, we were somewhat restricted. And so we really looked at best practice, original intent, and tried to come up with a plan that allowed us to get where we are today, that solved the problem of structural problem, the leaking problem, and then of course the accessibility. I think the vestibule becomes a key component here, because of, right now, people cut through the, what do they call it, the ping pong room, or, and
It's
so.
the only way out.
Yeah, it's the only way in and out, so it solves another problem there.
Which I don't think it even currently meets fire code.
No, it doesn't currently.
I noticed that there was 2 phases for this. We're just being asked to approve phase 1, is it? Or
Yes,
is
the
that
reason
included?
we only brought phase 1, we're waiting for our posting period for phase 2 with HUD to, then we'll bring
So
phase 2.
what would phase 2 bring to us?
It would be the vestibule
Okay.
and the rear entry door. And that's also include your packets. The bidding, we bid out both phases.
Yeah, I see that.
So this 118 is both phases.
The 118 is contingency in it, but the bid was for 108, and then the second phase 32 for a combined total of $140,000.
But we're not doing
We'll be bringing the second phase forward once the HUD posting period ends.
So we won't even consider starting this project until phase 2 is approved? Or are they gonna go ahead and?
Oh, we can start.
What is the timeline for this if we were to approve phase 1?
We would want them to get started almost immediately.
Yeah, wait until the frost laws are lifted, because access to the back area for equipment getting back there, they would have to make an entryway off of the side road through the fences, so the fence would have to be disassembled, little pathway made up through the area. But they could start digging, I mean, The first phase really requires no digging, so all they're doing is removing glass panels, and the rest of the building can stay sealed off so they can work in inclement weather or anything. It wouldn't affect the rest of the building.
What is your estimation of completing phase one?
They told me based on, without ordering and waiting on material, it's like 3 months to complete the project.
Both phases, right?
That would be for actually just for phase one. There's a long lead time for both the glass panels and the translucent roof. But construction, the biggest thing they were worried about is once they get in and get the frame straightened, then they can do their field measurements and order the glass from there. So it would take a little bit of time.